All right. Well, hello everybody. Welcome back to the Unicus project. And today we're going to be working more on the Lego Millennium Falcon. As you can see, it's lit up pretty well right now, and actually it has some of the underglow and other things working. Um, we're going to be working on. Last time I stopped before adding all the lights I had originally intended to because I didn't think they were going to be necessary, and then I realized that I forgot one that I actually did think was necessary. So I've decided to go back and finish because it was just three more lights, one up top, which is the one I forgot, and then two more on the landing struts on that side. You could see kind of the underglow from the landing strut down there, but I was going to put two lights there instead of one. Hi, Beth. How's it going? So the plan tonight is to add these remaining lights. I have them here. I have my soldering set up. I'm going to try not to burn myself again while I put this all together. And then we're going to start programming for it some and see what we can do to kind of differentiate a few things and define stuff. And yeah, go from there. So it should be fun. Ask any questions you have, or if you think this is really cool that someone else needs to know about it, share it. And yeah, give me any suggestions you have. So I'm going to go ahead and jump into this. I think, yeah, we're already set all right on the camera. I guess first things first now. I have to take this apart again to get into some of it, but only part of it. I don't have to take the whole thing apart. So that's at least a good start. Oh, one more important thing. Very important announcement that I want to get out of the way before anything else, and I'll say it again near the end. There's going to be a change in the stream schedule. I'm trying right now. Right now, I'm streaming Tuesday nights, Thursday nights, and Sundays during the day. And while I can keep that up if I was just streaming, I'm trying to put out videos on YouTube as well. And it's turning out to be a lot. Streaming, I guess that would be probably 7 or 8 hours a week. It takes a lot of my time because it takes almost twice as much time outside of a stream to prepare for everything and keep everything going. So I'm going to be making a change to the schedule, and from now on, I'm probably not going to stream on Sundays. Sundays, I seem to get the least amount of viewers and the least amount of people involved in actually wanting to provide suggestions and ask questions and things. So I'm probably going to take Sundays off and use that time to edit videos from the other streams on Tuesdays and Thursdays so I can get the YouTube channel going and put out some more content there. I will still be going same schedule Tuesday and Thursday nights, and still planning on doing the same stuff, but it just means that Sunday streams won't be happening anymore, at least for the time being. So if you have any questions regarding that, or you think I should do something different, please let me know. But that'll hopefully give me a little more time to work on some of the other stuff that I need to keep this thing going, and should result in better content all around. So that's the plan. All right, just got to finish taking this apart. We've got our computer board and everything stored in here. I have the camera down a little lower this time so you can see a little more of what's going on underneath. What's going on, Emmanuel? And the point of that is just so we can see some of the underside lights. It does restrict seeing some of what I'm doing on the inside, but that's the price I got to pay right now until I can get more cameras. All right. I wonder if I can get to this one. I don't think I can. I think I still have to take this whole piece off to get to the light that's in there, which I need to because that's where I'm running the wires from. All right. Let's try and do this without breaking it. I don't remember how this came off last time. Last time I did break it, actually. So. No, there's actually, on this side of it, there's actually no rooms. All of the rooms are on this side nearest me, so the stuff over here is basically open. So right here, there's just a big open pocket, which is where I put the computer board and some of the power wires. And then up here, there's an open room that has one little thing in it, but for the most part. Free space. There we go. Carefully. All right. That's all taken apart. Hopefully I'll be able to put it back together later. We can finish this out. I've noticed too that the lights on this side seem to leave kind of a gap in the middle of the engine here. So I'm gonna try and fix that. Gonna have to move some stuff around to make this happen. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Looks like my capacitor came out. That's not good. All right, I'll have to unplug this and sort this out real quick. Oh, man. All right, I need a screwdriver. Thought I had one around here somewhere. Not sure. This one's probably too big. Yep. All right. Well, let me try it. Oh no, it's definitely too. Oh, there it is. Sweet. Let's see how prepared I am for things to go wrong. This capacitor saves the neopixels when you turn them on. Prevents that rush of current from putting all of that load on the first pixel. That way, if there's a bit of a power spike, you don't just destroy it. But I have noticed that it seems to have trouble staying in here. Actually, you know what we could do to stop this from happening in the future? We could solder that in place. I'll try and do that. All right, this is going to be a little tricky. I'll try and do it without breaking anything, but I think I can solder this on here so that these leads are permanently connected and then put them in the terminal box that way. So let's get this started. Try not to get my microphone wet here. Be a little tough to heat up wires this thick of a gauge, but I've got this thing at 760 degrees. Yep, most of the lights are already in, just adding a few extras and then programming them. So it all runs off of my computer here. All right, let's see. Get some solder. Those of you that stick around for this stream have a very important job before I log off. Remind me to wash my hands once I'm done here. This is lead-based solder, and it's probably not a good idea to not wash my hands when I'm done. Then I'll go right to eating dinner, and that wouldn't be good. So if you remember to, please remind me to do that. This is going to be a little tricky to hold into place. But I think I could do it. Almost, not quite. Need a clamp or something. That's what I'm trying to use this for. Actually, you know what? I can probably just twist these together. That would do more or less the same thing. There we go. And then try not to burn it. Welcome, Omega. All right. Apologies if I burn myself while I'm doing this. This thing's at 700 degrees right now. I hear the follow. Give me just a second. I'll check who it was. Get the smoke out of here. If I accidentally touch the Falcon, I will absolutely melt through it. So I have to be really careful in that sense too. Who just followed? Kaylee Uzef. Thank you so much for the follow. All right. Let's get the negative side terminal on. What's going on, everybody? Uh-oh. Okay, there we go. Turn that off and let it cool down some. This should hopefully keep our issues from, keep this capacitor from slipping out so much. You know what, I'm gonna clip that end off. Hopefully that fits. There we go. And then this side in. I think that's solid. All right. Well, let's just test if this works. Got one light. Rerun my script here and see if we can get this thing to light up. Uh-oh. I know what's happened. Had something pop loose over here. All right. All the electronics are really just adding lights. I shorted something right here, which is why this isn't working just yet. Oh, I don't have the data line connected. That's why. Hold on. 2 seconds. Okay, now let's try it. Hey, there we go. Okay. So lights are back to working. They're running through the test pattern right now. So next I need to add the remaining lights to this thing. And then we'll have to go through. So basically I'm adding like underglow lights, lights for the engines, and then a few for the lasers. And yeah, then we'll have to go through and program and create some like cool kind of profiles and things. So if you have any suggestions too, I would wholly welcome them. Any questions as well. All right, let's get started. Unplug this so I can add the remaining lights. Actually, let's kill this program. All right, there we go. And then this needs to run back through here. Oh, this is gonna be tricky. I might have to undo this again. I didn't think this through completely. In order to get the wiring through here, I'm going to have to take that terminal block off. There we go. All right, let's get that back on. All right, there we go. That's a little better. All right, and since I already have this taken apart, I'm gonna go ahead and put the next one on. So that means we've got to figure out where we're gonna wire it and how we're gonna route the wiring. All right. Figure, let's see. That's pretty straightforward, actually. I'll probably just leave a little extra. Call it good. So probably strip about that big. All right, so we need a black wire for ground, red wire for the 5-volt power, and then a green wire for the data, which obviously controls the color and brightness of the LEDs. There we go. All right. And then I apologize. I'm trying to do this so you all can see it as much as possible, but there's a limit to what I can really do. Slowed Cabbage, thank you for the compliment there. Leo's telling me to take a shower, huh? Do I look like I'm sweating a bunch or something? It's probably the really bright lights. It's actually, It's so cold here that it's so dry right now. That's probably what's causing it. I should adjust my balance a little bit. No, I know. He's just being a troll, but I'm not kidding you. It's really cold here right now. We got a massive snowstorm yesterday. Slow Cabbage, thank you for the follow. Omega what is it? Heracles? Omega Heracles. Well, thank you for the follow, Omega. Welcome to the team. All right, so first thing when we solder, as usual, we got to tin the edges of this new light. So that we can put the wires on. We probably got about 10 inches or so, 25 centimeters of snow. It's not horrible, but enough that can't really go do anything. There we go. Spin that around. All right, so this next light is going to go up here on the top for the blaster cannon that's up here. It's going to be behind the little window inside this thing, but I think there'll be enough of effect that I can still blink it red and make it look like it's firing. All right, so now I just got to get the wires on here. There we go. This thing's sticking to my heat board. All right, it's ground. Need data. That's not on very well. Yep, the whole thing's sliding around. This is what I get for not doing it on a flat surface. Negative 27 wind chill. Yeah, it was on top of an ice storm. I do remember that. Slow Cabbage. I followed the instructions to build the Falcon. Because, you know, it just comes in... It actually, you can buy the Lego set. I don't know if you can anymore, but it was an $800 Lego set. Had 7,500 pieces. And it has the instruction manual, which is down here next to me. It's like 500 pages long, and it's this big spiral-bound notebook kind of thing. So it took me about 21 hours to build. And now I'm going through, and then all this stuff, the lights and everything, are my own creation. So I'm kind of making this part up as I go. Okay, now I just have to somehow get that attached to this piece over here, this next light. So for anyone that hasn't seen a lot of this, the way these lights work is you connect them in series in a big like chain basically, and when you communicate, each light tells the light after it what color it should be. So you send a command to the first light saying green and then tell all the other lights to be red. And then that first light says, okay, I'm green. Now let me tell all the other ones behind me to be red. So there's a single wire running around that controls the color of everything. But I can control the color of each LED and the brightness individually, and they act just like pixels on a screen. And I can cycle them pretty fast. I've managed to get a refresh rate of about 20 to 30 per second. I can get sometimes as high as 60 frames per second if I make it a really short strip. So, all right, that's already tinned, so I just gotta get the wires on that. All right, I'm gonna have to lean over this one. Negative 27 wind chill is really cold. I'm glad I don't live anywhere that far north. All right. Let's get this twisted to stay in one spot. And then try and do this once again without burning myself. There we go. And then data. And then power. Okay. Now let's fire up the script here. Let me plug the lines back in and just make sure that I didn't break anything. Always a possibility. All right, let's run it. And then we should see, yep, there it is. This new one on the end is lighting up just fine, red, and then we should see green come up next. Wait for it to fade out. Yep, okay, so it looks like it's running fine. All the data's looking good. Excellent. All right, we're almost done adding all of these ridiculous lights. So now I got to run this wire back down here and try and get everything into the spot that I want it to be. Hopefully without breaking any of the wires off that I've already soldered. There we go, get through there. Awesome. All right, and that should fit right in there. Cool. Okay. So, just one more strip of lights to add. This is a set of 2 of them already put together. So I got to tin the edges. I said last time that I was going to use some hot glue to kind of hold everything into place. And I still plan on doing that, but I haven't been able to go out and get any. Obviously, as the aforementioned snowstorm has caused some issues. All right. Smoke out. The smoke is caused by the flux burning off. All right, and then I just need one more set of wires to connect everything. And I got to figure out how long these are going to need to be. Probably not very. Have to drop down in here, come down there. Yeah. Shouldn't be too bad. Somebody just messaged me to let me know what my next project should be. Now's a good time to mention, if you have an idea for a project, you can check out in the About section below. There's a link that says Requests, and that will take you to the website, to a page where you can fill out a form with your project request. And if I think it'll be a fun one to work on, or I'm just interested in learning how to do it, then I might just make it. With your all's help, of course. All right, there we go. And get all these wires stripped. Sounds very complicated. Do you have instructions for the form? No, it's fairly self-explanatory. Give as much detail as you possibly can. But there's just a spot for your name, your email, and then one place to put in like a summary of your project, and then another place to put in like hard requirements, things that you want to actually adhere to. But don't worry about it being like, don't worry about your submission not being like enough for me to make a decision on. That's why you provide your email, so I can always get back in touch with you if I need more info or I'm a little confused. All right, got these edges tinned, so now I just need to solder one set on. We're almost done with the wiring. I'm really excited because now we can finally start getting to the point to where we're testing certain things. Hold on, it's taking this thing a second to heat up. It heats up in the core pretty fast, but the tip takes a little while to heat up to the 760 degrees that it needs. go. Uh-oh. I lost it. All right, data. And then power. Hang on. All right. Now I just got to get it attached to this one that's already in here. Pull this out. I'm going to have to lean over and do this right on top over here. So, as usual, let me know if you have any questions or any suggestions. Let's see. I'll probably just drop this right here, actually. Come. We'll see if that holds. There we go. Now I need data. I don't think that's on very good. Nope. Uh-oh. This is getting all kinds of all over the place. There we go. And then power. Okay. It's on. Let's move that over. And hopefully we're done soldering. And then let me plug this in and we'll power it up. And just make sure that all the lights are connected properly. So we should see these last two on the end light up when I run this script. There they are. All right. Make sure they go green just to make sure all the data is looking good. There we go. All right. Let me unplug this so I can see. It may be hard to tell on the stream at home, but these LEDs are actually really bright. And it doesn't take much to make it almost impossible for me to see what I'm doing. Let's get some of this moved in here. Move some things around. All right. This goes down in here. Oh no, that needs to be flipped around. Hold on. Down in there. And these ones flip around and go down here in the landing struts. Ideally without breaking. Let's try that. Bend some of this all into place. That one looks good, and then this one is continuing to be a problem. Let's see how it does. Okay. I think that'll work. One last test to make sure it's all in place. All right, let's fire it up. Oh no, I knocked these ones out. Oh no. All right, that might work for now. It's not great, but until I have a way to hot glue things into place, it's not going to get any better. I like that blue. Okay, now I got to try and get all this back on without messing up anything I've just done. Actually, okay, that went on pretty easy. Okay. Place here. Push this one over a bit so we get a better view of it. Snap this one on. All right, and then drop the cap on. Okay. Now, all right. What's up, Surge? Yeah, it's growing. The blue is really bright, though. All right, I'm going to move this out of the way. I don't think I need to solder anything anymore. And unplug that so it doesn't burn anything down. And now we got to figure out how to test this. And I might actually, if you all want me to, I can turn some lights off, make it a little darker, and make it a little easier to see kind of what's going on in different spots. I picked this angle because it's easiest to see the engines, but that's not the only thing going on here. Okay. Let's run. Let me flip over to this, and then we need to change our current goal for the moment. Add new light modes. All right. And then I'm going to run this function that we had before that just did the, what did this function do? It just tested the engines, but we're going to have to try and test everything here. So let's go to this, engine lower, engine upper. We need to redefine engine upper. There's one, engine upper. How many lights do we put on this? How many do I have left? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So I put 21 on there. index starting at 0, so 1 to 20, because that first one is not actually used. And so what this should do is blink a red light all the way around through everything, and we'll see, hopefully we'll see it come up. All right, let's run this. And I'll go back to the main here. Okay. All right, it is working. It's a little hard to see everything because of how bright the lights are right now. Let me take the time to actually turn some of these off, and it'll get a lot dimmer in here, and it'll have a hard time seeing me, but you'll be able to see what's going on in the Falcon a little better. All right, I'm back. Okay, so it looks like everything's working. I can see everything blinking, which is really cool, especially underneath with the underglow stuff. Some of them don't really show up, but we'll have to work with that. Okay, let's see. So what do we need to do? So we have, I guess we need to define the different categories. We have the engines, we have the lasers, we have one up here, one here, and one on the top turret here. And then the rest are underglow. And I guess we need to figure out that order. Because even though I've just wired them all up, I've completely forgotten what order I put them in. What's up, Wicked? From Spain. Okay, let me. I'm so sorry that you just dropped in here to say something, and I'm gonna go off on a tangent. But it surprises me. I get a lot of viewers from Europe, and I don't know why that is. I figured me as, some American, I just wouldn't have that many Europeans watching me. But for whatever reason, I get a lot of viewers from Europe. So, but hey, nice to meet you, man. Okay, let's go back to this. And then our Falcon. And then I guess we got to define a few different things. We know the engines are 1 through 10. So if we stop that and run this now, we should just see the engines light up. Yep, okay, there's the engine. And then we need to define a couple of others. We need the landing lights. And that's going to be a list of lights. And then we need lasers. And that's going to be a list. And then we need, probably to separate the two, the front lasers. Is a list, and then the top laser. And that's going to be a list of 1. Okay. I'm going to have to go through this thing, basically a piece at a time. I know where the engines are. I know those are 1 through 10. After that, I'm a little unsure of where everything is, but I think I know. So 1 through 10 is here, and then there's 2 landing lights here, so that would be 11 and 12. So let's pop back to this. I was going to go through and just trial and error it, but I think I can kind of remember where I put everything. 11 and 12. 13 is the front landing strut here. 14 was this front left laser? Yeah. So 14 there, and as well as, whoops, 14 here. 15 was the very front middle landing strut. 16 was this, the right front laser. $17 would be the right front landing strut. And then 18 would be the top laser. And then finally 19 and 20 would be the back right landing lights. All right, excellent. So now I need to go through and define a couple of things. We have functions for all the major stuff. But there's got to be a function for, like, I've forgotten everything that I've written. Color for P and self.pixel list. Where does that come from? Let's create lights. That's strip length. We should redefine that. 21. Okay. Now we shouldn't have anything extra. Okay, so we need a few functions for basically set color of different things. Let me move it up here, actually, because I'm going to basically be copying this set engine color function. So set landing lights. And then we need the color. Sets all the landing lights to the corresponding color. 24-bit color value. And returns none. Okay. And then we're going to copy this function. And the only thing we're going to change is this. Self dot. Oh, you know what? I don't like the way this is done. Engine upper, engine lower. Here we go. We got to create the other lists. Create landing indexes. Probably landing light indexes. Lights equals landing lights. And then create laser indexes dot lasers equals lasers. And then we need to separate, we need to create indexes for the two different types of lasers. Create front laser indexes dot lasers equals front laser and the top laser. All right, there we go, equals top lasers. Now we can go back here and change our functions. So landing lights, self.landing lights, And then we're basically going to copy this function for each of the different types. Set laser colors. Sets all the lasers to the corresponding color. And then we need front laser. All right, there we go, front lasers, and then finally, we need the top lasers. All right, excellent. Oh, missed this one. Top lasers. Okay. So now we need to test all of those more or less. So let's make a function that's just basically test all types, or test all lights, I guess. It's another light test function. Different light types, and returns none. All right, excellent. And then what do we put in here? I guess infinite loop. Sorry, just checking to make sure my mic's still working. All right, so while true, and then we need to set everything. And we've seen how to do that before with this function down here. Should be pretty straightforward. So test engines. And then self.set engine color. And I think we've decided this. We actually already defined, I think, a color up here for it. Engine normal. There it is. That's that blue with a little bit of white in it. Update lights. And then we need to pause. Maybe like 4 seconds, 5 seconds. All right, then test landing lights. And so we'll do self dot landing lights. Wait. Set landing lights. And we probably need this to be white. Pause for 5 seconds. All right, and then finally, test the lasers. And then let's do a quick loop. Count equals 0 while count is less than 10. Should we do green or red? Green would probably be easier to see. I can't remember. I think it's red on the actual Falcon, though. The lasers, If anybody remembers what color they are, let me know. Update lights, and I realized I forgot to do that earlier as well. Here. All right, time out sleep, and let's wait like 0.1 maybe. I'm probably gonna have to speed that up. And then I just realized as well that I forgot to set everything to black after the test. Set all color black. And we'll do that up here as well. All right, so we're gonna test the engines, turn them on. Whoops, actually we don't want that there. Then turn on the landing lights, and then finally do the lasers. And we'll blink the lasers. I think that'll work. And then maybe just real quick up here, just to be sure, start everything in black. All right, let's run this. Actually, I need to call this over here. Test all light types. All right, here we go. Let's run. Looks like the engine comes on just fine. And then the landing lights. And then the lasers. All right. I think we can get claim victory with that. It looks pretty good, I think. The landing lights look really bright from this camera angle. And that's just the way they are when you're looking right in them with the camera. They're not the landing lights, the engine lights. I'm curious what the lasers would look like if they were red. Let's try that here. Let's do red. And then rerun it. All right, so the engines are on, and then the landing lights. They're just white right now. Red lasers. Yeah, they're okay underneath. They probably need to be adjusted some. They're not as bright as I was hoping they would be, and that's because they're kind of like moving around and getting hidden behind things. But I think for the most part, we got that pretty well worked out. I'm afraid to like move it around because I still have the wire sticking out of it. I'm worried that's going to pull on something and cause an issue. Just so you all could see the lasers, or the lasers better. I have the red is pretty. Actually, you know what? They probably need a custom color here. So let me show you. So the red right here is 200000, so which means it's really dim. So if I go back to Falcon here, and I'm use my own custom color, FF0000. Let's try this real quick. That'll make it a really bright red, which might make the lasers look a little better. I think white is really dim as well, so we can try that as also. So let's try this and make the lasers look a little better. Kind of. It's really, I think it's more just the angle than anything. It's really hard to tell. But I think that's kind of there. And then let's try for the Yeah, the white's really dim as well. So let's try full brightness on the landing lights. So if I go up here, set that to full bright, and then run it again. Oh wow, that's really bright now. Yeah, that might be what we need to do. That makes it really bright underneath, which is kind of ideal. Yeah, it's actually, so it actually looks pretty good on that side. On this side, some of the LEDs are a little, have seemed to have moved out from underneath where, or out from their pockets. So they're actually not really shining down into the openings for the landing struts, but onto just another piece of plastic. So they're kind of blocked. But it looks a lot better on that side, which is awesome. So, all right, cool. I guess I got to figure out what to do next then. Um, I don't have a way to reposition the lights right now and fix that because I don't have a way to hold them in place. Let's see. Oh, my computer's doing something. All right, it's good. Any ideas? Anyone have anything they want to see me do with it right now? I'm going to speed up the lasers a little bit. Just because I think that would be cool. But if you have any thoughts or about what should be added next, or at least as far as like configuring the lights and the colors and all that, let me know. I'm going to recopy this. Put a quick delay between. Yeah, I thought about that. So last time I was looking at putting lights up front, kind of like headlights or navigation lights, and there's actually, the way it's built, there's no way to get a light up there where you can see it. Like it's several layers of solid Legos. Um, and without actually modifying, like taking pieces off the Falcon, I can't do that just yet. Also, I've already put some lights. Well, maybe I could use the front lasers as kind of navigation lights. That's an option. But the way the cord runs, if I want to put a light in, I have to cut it and then insert it in place, and that's a little tough to do right now. So I'm just thinking like what we should do right now with the stuff that's in there now, like changing the colors and adding new modes, that kind of thing, new patterns. All right, let me see. I'm gonna speed up the lasers as well. I'm going to basically make them go twice as fast, and I'm going to have them fire 5 times, and then put a pause between. And then 5 times again. And I think that'll look really cool. Alright, let's go to this, and let's try it. Alright, so engines are on, and then we should see the landing lights. There they are, and then finally the lasers. Okay, they're blinking a little too fast. But I think it was there. Interesting. I wonder if I leave the on time the same, because they need to be quick, but then leave the off time a little longer. I don't know the bullets per minute of the Millennium Falcon's lasers. I don't know how fast it can shoot. I'm sure that's a defined stat somewhere. Alright. Engines. Landing lights. That looks a little better. Probably needs to be... Okay. It probably only needs to fire 3 times instead of 5 in every... So 3-round burst. And then less time between. So 0.5. Alright. Yeah, that looks better. It's firing like it's chasing down TIE fighters. Okay, and then I guess we should also... Let's see. I'm going to take this out of its infinite loop, because I don't think that's really necessary. And then I still want to test all the previous modes that we had for the engine, see what they still look like. So let's do that now. So we're going to run the engine kill, then start up engines, then losing power, then restart engines, and then go to hyperspace. Alright, so engines off. Start up engines. I need to get... Okay, I need to line up those lights a little better. That's part of why it's looking weird. Alright, that was the engines dying. And then hot start. There we go. And then finally go to hyperspace. There it is. Oh, it's bright. And then it fades out. Okay, cool. So you can see that the LEDs have kind of drifted down. And that's why it seems to be blinding the camera a little bit. But I think that gets us where we need to go. Alright, and it shows us that everything's still working. Man, that hyperspace is bright. I guess we need to figure out... We need to add in, like... We probably need to define a couple patterns. Like landing and taking off. That kind of thing. And as well as firing the lasers. Yeah, that seems to make sense. Okay. If anybody has any theories or ideas on exactly how we should do that, let me know. That's a little closer. Yeah, it is really bright, especially right at the end here when it goes to hyperspace. It just like blinds everything and then shoots off. Yep. Awesome. All right, I'm going to pause that there. Actually, I'm going to run it again and pause it after the engines are turned off. There we go. Okay. So now we need to go through and create probably taking off, which I guess would be the landing lights are on and then the engines start up and then get bright and the landing lights fade or turn off. Or fade out, maybe. And then landing would be the opposite of that, so see the engine fade away. And finally, we need to do something with the lasers as well. Let's just start with taking off. That seems pretty straightforward. Alright, so after light test... What is that complaining about? Too many blank lines. That's easy. Here we go. Let's put it right here. I guess taking off should assume that the engines have already been started. That you would run this function first. Runs the taking off simulation and returns none. So we're going to need the engines to basically fade into a little brighter, and then the landing lights to fade out. Or do we do the opposite of that? Because it's lifting up off the ground. The landing gear starts going in, and then it takes off. Yeah, that's probably a better option. So fade the landing lights out, and then make the engine brighter, as if it's just like on full burn or something. So how to do that? All right. Let's do engine color equals GB dot pixel. And then initial color is going to be engine normal. And then we're going to copy this here. We don't want to make it too much brighter, just a little bit. As if the engines are really firing up. So main count equals 0. Well, main count is less than, let's say, 20. So that would be 32, or 32, sorry. 20 and hex is 32. That's probably as fast as we want to reasonably go between cycles. 5/100ths of a second. I've noticed that when you get down to 2/100ths of a second is when it starts to, or actually it might be 2,000ths of a second, that's when it starts to have issues. All right, set engine color, main count, update lights, sleep time. All right, and then what we want to do is take engine color and modify red, because we're using blue, so we want to up the red and the green to make it more white. By 1, engine color dot modify green by 1, and then engine color get color. All right. And then startup engines. And then we'll run taking off and continue. We'll just ignore the rest of the loop. All right, so if I go here, try it. Hopefully I don't get any errors. All right, so the engines are going to come on like normal. And then it gets really white and dies. Okay. I think that works. I think it needs to go a little faster to that really bright color. Like they're more or less just slamming the throttle down. So maybe we use, if we go and look at this, if we use half the delay, 0.025. Now let's run it again. Yeah, that's better. Okay. And then at the end of this function, let's add a pause so we can see what our handiwork looks like. Whoops. And sleep. 5 seconds. All right, then run it again. All right, that looks pretty good for like full afterburn boost forward. All right. So that looks good. So now we need to basically, we need to turn on the landing lights before that, and then we need to dim them out. So we know they're on full. Okay, we can do this. Let's do the same thing we did before. All right, so this is go full throttle. Oh, sorry, I don't even have the screen up. Apologies. Here we go. And then dim out landing lights. And this is going to be the opposite. We're going to want to go, or we're going to basically, starting at the maximum brightness, bring it all the way down to 0. And I think we're going to want to do it kind of fast. We'll see how fast we can go. 1/100th of a second may not be fast enough between increments because, because it will still take 2.5 seconds to get all the way from FF, or from 0 to FF, because it's 256 increments. All right. Landing lights, and we want this to be full brightness white. New color. All right, then we want to change all this, and then we need one more modify blue. And we want these to be -1 because we want them to go down by 1. Okay. And then we dim out the landing lights that way. That should be good. We need to make sure they're on too. So we'll have to do that out here. Or actually, we'll have to run a... I guess that should be in starting engines. We should turn the landing lights on. Or maybe an engine kill. Set landing lights. You know what? I need to define this. Landing light color constants. Landing lights on equals 0x. All right. That way I can use it later. And then engine kill, we need to make sure those are on. Okay. Now stop that, go to the webcam only. Go, and let's run it. So we should see the first things first. Yep, landing lights come on. All right. Then the engines light up. And they're on. And then we wait. And then we turn them on and we fade out the lights. It didn't work. Okay. I messed something up. That's okay. What am I missing? Oh, the engine's fading out. Okay, I think I know what I did wrong. Ah. Here, I accidentally called the function set engine color. Set landing lights. All right, let's try that again. All right, it's normal. All right, we'll turn the engines on and then turn them up to fly and dim out the landing lights. Yeah, those definitely need to go faster. I don't think the Falcon's going to be hanging around when it's taken off at full power. All right, let's see. Here. Maybe twice as fast would work? I can't go much faster than that without having issues. And then I need a pause at the end as well. I think that should just be done here, though. Probably like 2 seconds. Nah, 5. All right. Let's try this again. Start up our engines. And fade them out. There we go. And now it's in flight mode. All right, do it again. So the landing lights are on, turning on the engines. And then we start them, and then we push the full power, and the landing light fade out as it puts the gear up and flies away. Okay. Very cool. I'm curious if I should try some, like, I don't know, just some cycling of all the colors to see what's possible. I could give the Falcon some cool underglow. I guess at the end of takeoff, too, we should... Actually, before I do anything else, at the end of takeoff, I should go back to normal power. So what is engine normal? What do we define that as? 202040. So let's wait. Oh, sorry. Let me pull this up so you can see what I'm doing. So we'll wait like 5 seconds at full power, and then we'll go back down to normal. So cruising speed. And we'll have to define this as well. Engine full. Should be that. That should be the color that it's at. All right, and then we will take this. Copy it here. And we're going to go the opposite direction, basically. Modify red, modify green. And we're just going to go back down to normal power. And then engine full needs to be our starting. And then finally, at the end of this, we'll just do a quick update where we put the engine on normal, just to make sure we don't have any issues. So, check engine is normal. All right, we'll do engine normal. Okay, so after it takes off, then it should dim the lights back down. And we'll put that continue in here again. Okay. So start with the landing lights. Fire up the engines. And then take off. Then wait like 5 seconds. And then the engines go back down to normal. Okay, that works. And now I can take out this continue statement. And is there any pause at the end of this? Yeah, 2-second pause. That's good enough. We can take out this sleep statement. And then just do our losing power. All right. Run that again. And so now once it's done, we'll see it do its whole losing power and then hot start and then go to hyperspace. All right, then hot start. There we go, and then go to hyperspace. Excellent. And then it just goes back to normal. Start over. And then I'll put a pause here at the end. So we'll have a few seconds in between each cycle. All right, I guess now we got to do landing. So landing should be the opposite of taking off. And I guess we don't even need the full throttle thing. We just know that we're coming in with the engines, that we turn the landing lights on, and then we have to dim the engine out. Okay, then let's just copy this function. I probably won't need all of it. Landing. This runs the landing simulation. We should just set the engine to normal just to ensure it's set that way, but other than that, we don't need this whole thing at the front. So check engine normal. And take the rest of that out. And then we need to turn on the landing lights. And then double check that they're on. We'll do that by setting these to Full power. And then we need to dim the engine out. Which I think we can do the same thing that we're doing here when we dim the landing lights out. Or actually, we've done it here with actually, we're doing it right here. So let's just do this. Subtract 1. While engine color dot get blue is greater than 0. And we don't need this main count for this. All right, I think that works. So it should turn the landing lights on and then dim out the engine. Oops, put a breakpoint there. All right, so now if I go here, we'll do it after restart engines. Landing. And then we'll just comment out the go to hyperspace. New ending to our script. Okay, there we go. And let's try it. So from the beginning. Landing lights are on. They go out. Then engine back down to normal. There it is. And then losing power. And then hot start. All right, and then landing. Here's the lights. And then engine fade out. Looked like it blinked really bright there for a second. Interesting. I wonder if I missed something. Oh yeah, I accidentally did it from engine full all the way down to 0. I want to do that from engine normal. All right, let's run this again from the top. All right, now losing power, there we go. And then hot start. And then finally landing. And engine fades out. All right, there we go. I think that's good. And then I guess we guys probably do like some sort of laser sequence or something. I wonder if I could cycle between the two lasers. I could probably do something like that. All right, let's go back to this. And then I'll just call it fire everything. Runs the fire everything simulation. And then I think our test code would have most of what we need. Test all light types. Can't find declaration to go to. Probably because it's commented out. Okay, here we go. Then we go down here. And where did I put it? I missed it. Engine kill. Fire everything. Here it is. Count equals 0 while count is less than 3. And then we need to define this value. Laser light constants. Laser on. I think we said we were going to use full red. And then that needs to go in our light test function. Which I just realized this one needs our landing lights as well. Landing lights on. There we go. Taking off, landing, fire everything. Here we go. All right, and then what I'm going to do actually, this is going to be a little weird. Actually, leave that 0.5. Change this to 0.25. I'm going to copy this. Fire front lasers. And then this second one, I'm going to fire the top laser. Okay, and then so this one we need to set front lasers for the first one. And then set top laser colors for the second one. And so what this should do, I think if I'm envisioning all this correctly, is we'll fire the front ones, and then they'll fire those, fire the top, fire those, fire the top, and we'll see it go back and forth real quick. I think that works. All right, let's go to our main. And after taking off, we're going to wait a couple seconds. Actually, you know what? Let's put it after the hot start, because that makes more sense. It's like emergency start, because we're being chased. Now fire the lasers. Sleep. Falcon dot fire everything. And then we'll change that to 5 seconds, and then we'll do our landing. All right, excellent. Let's try this. From the beginning. All right, landing lights on. Start up the engines. And then take off. Yep, engines get brighter, landing lights fade out. And then they go back to normal cruising speed. And then we lose power. Then we do our hot start. And now we fire the lasers. Oh wow, that's really slow. Between the two. Huh. I'll have to tweak the timing on that a bit. All right, then it lands and turns off the engine. But yeah, the timing on that doesn't make a lot of sense. It's so slow. We know the Falcon can shoot very fast, so let's see if we can tweak our timing some. Oh, point. No, I think this was supposed to be 0.025. That's why. It's waiting a quarter second between. It's supposed to wait like a tenth of a quarter second. That would do it. All right, let's try this again. If you have any suggestions for how to make that look better too, I'm all ears. about the timing of the lasers. All right, takeoff complete. All right, engines die. Then hot start. Emergency start. And I'll fire the lasers, hopefully faster. Ah, there we go. That looked cool. All right, I probably need to repeat that a couple times. So it should be a burst and then a slight pause. So let's do number of bursts equals 0. While number of bursts is less than 3. And then we'll tab all this over. And then number of bursts increment. And then we have to wait between the bursts, and I think half-second delay. That should be good. Excuse me. All right, let's start from the beginning. All right, let's turn them on. All right, engine should die. There it is. And then hot start. And then a 3-round or triple burst. Okay. And then landing. All right. I think that's good. I think that does everything that we need it to. Looks good. All right, so what's next? Well, couple things. Obviously, we got to get the lights positioned a little better, and that's on me for not having a way to adhere everything in there, any kind of adhesive or anything. So I will work on that. Hopefully tomorrow I can get out, but the snow is continuing for a little while, so I don't know when I'll be able to. I want to add an SD card, some sort of SD card storage, so that I don't have to have this thing plugged into the computer to run, because it's kind of annoying to have to plug into my big desktop computer just to power it up and run it. It'd be cool if I could just plug it into a wall outlet somewhere and it turns on. So that's one thing that's got to be done. Second thing, so actually, no, I think those are the two major things: SD card and using hot glue or something to get all the lights in the right place so it looks better underneath. I think both of those are doable. I just got to find the time to do it and get the materials. As far as the SD card goes, that's going to be a little tricky. That requires some modifying of the VHDL on the FPGA that's inside there. And this isn't a very popular platform, so finding info on how to do that is a little tricky. But hopefully I'll be able to figure it out through some online instructions. So that might take a few streams, honestly, to figure that out. So join in if you want to learn how to do that, because I'll be learning too at the same time. But it will be kind of tricky. And then I guess from there, I wanted to kind of take a break from this project. It's been really cool, but once we have that SD card working, we'll have everything we need for the modular light system in the short term. So we need a new project to work on. So if you have an idea, please submit it on the project request form. You can go look in the About section below and find the request link. That'll take you to the website, and you can submit a project request. So if you have any ideas for something that needs to be made, that would be optimal. It'd be just great to... I really want to start making stuff that other people come up with. and letting you all participate in helping me make that. So I think that would be awesome. One last thing, in case you missed it from the beginning of the stream, the stream schedule is changing. I'm going to be doing Tuesday and Thursday nights like normal, but I'm not going to stream on Sundays anymore. I need that time to edit videos for YouTube. So Sunday streams are canceled until further notice. Once I have more time, once this becomes, maybe a full-time job or something, then I'll have more time to do it. And then I could go back to streaming 3 times a week. But for the time being, I just don't have, me personally, I don't have enough time in my day to get all the work done I need to stream 3 times a week and turn everything into YouTube videos. Don't forget to watch it. Thank you, Ace. I appreciate it. She's the only one that came through and remembered. I'm literally playing with a piece of it right now, and I need to not do that. So remember to wash my hands. Thank you. I will remember to do that. It's mostly tin, but it's like 30% lead, and any lead at all is still not great. So, all right. I think that's it for tonight. Once again, any project ideas, submit them in the request form. Otherwise, I will see you all Thursday at 6, and we'll get started in adding the SD card to it. All right. Everyone have a good night. See ya.